Good morning, everybody. This Qashqai is back in the garage, and I'm going to be fitting a brand new AC condenser radiator. So without further ado, let's get the front bumper off. First things first, let's get this top plastic flap off. So there's a couple of screws and some of these plastic rivets to remove. There we go, put that out of the way somewhere, and put the screws on the scuttle panel safe. We're going to be removing the radiator bracket, which is made of plastic on this model. Also holds the intercooler. But first we're going to have to take the front bumper off completely. This is the first time I've had to remove a front bumper in this J11 Qashqai. It wasn't too difficult. I'm not using one of the ramps today, so I'm going to have to get on the floor and remove some Phillips screws that hold the under tray onto the bottom of the bumper. And I'm going to have to partially remove this bit of wheel arch trim to access one of the bolts. Just be careful when you're doing this, you don't want to damage the customer's paintwork. I do have a plastic pry tool somewhere, I just couldn't find it. So detach it from the bumper, and then you're going to have to detach it a bit further up from the wing also, which did result in one of the plastic trim clips breaking. They do become really brittle, so it was pretty hard to avoid, I'm afraid. There it is. I do have a load of spare ones in my toolbox, so I'll replace it. Now if you peel the mud guard away from the bumper, there is one screw pointing upwards with a 10mm head. The lucky ratchet works best for this one. Don't forget to do the other side. I'm just showing one side. And with that screw removed, you can now more or less detach the entire bumper. There's just a few more screws underneath and some wiring harnesses to detach. Just buzz off these 10mm holding the under tray to the bottom of the bumper, and there is 5 different plugs that must be detached, so you can completely remove the bumper from the vehicle. I think there was 2 for the lights, and there was 2 each side for the parking sensors, and 1 also in the middle. I think that was for a crash sensor, which I didn't see at first, but it became evident when I pulled the bumper a bit further from the car. There it is there. I'll just go and put the bumper somewhere safe so I don't fall over it. Now we can get at the radiator bracket. Remove the horn because that's going to be in your way. And there's some 14 bolts, 3 of them, to take out. I don't think it's strictly necessary, but I decided to remove the headlights just for better access. And there's only 4 bolts, well 3 bolts and 1 nut. All 10mm, so I use my electric ratchet again. This is the snap-on 1/4 inch. There's 2 on the top, 1 on the side, and then there's the nut is just under the headlight somewhere, under there. I think you can just see it. Yeah, just about, there we go, in the top right. Buzz that one off. You don't have to take that off completely, just loosen it. And the headlight should be loose now, and you should be able to pull it out, and it'll make your life much easier. And there's the top radiator mounting removed. Got full access to the AC condenser now. Just remove the 2 pipes, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, held in by a 10mm bolt each. And there's the old condenser, which has a nice big oily patch in the bottom left, which suggests it has been leaking slowly, because our leak detecting machine didn't detect any leaks. So the new one's in, got the pipes bolted in, and a good tip for you is before you put all the bumper and everything back on, just plug in your AC machine and check everything's alright. So I'm going to do a full vacuum and a full leak test again, even though it didn't actually detect a leak the first time around. But I am pretty confident now after changing the condenser. So we'll go through all the rigmarole of vacuuming and vacuum testing, making sure everything's alright before we put the gas in. We'll set our vacuum test for about 15 minutes, and everything's alright. We'll go ahead and charge up the system. This one takes half a kilo of the refrigerant, so we'll shove 500 grams in. This Qashqai uses the R134YF, which is the newer refrigerant, the more expensive gas. So once it's fully charged, remove your hoses and get in the car. Switch the AC on and let it run for a minute or two. And it's absolutely bloody freezing. That's what we want. Excellent, job done. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.